Certainly. Tammy Ray,
I'm present in the city of Kalamazoo.
Jeanette Tarver,
Here.
Margaret Wilson,
Present.
James Martin,
Present.
Megan Buwalda,
Present.
Amina Shakir, Candace Howell.
Present.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jamie. So we'll move to the approval of our agenda. Has everyone had an opportunity to look over the agenda for tonight? Yes, is there a motion to approve or any corrections, changes?
I would like to make a motion to remove term renewals from our old business because we have no term renewals.
Okay.
Can I get a second?
I don't
Second.
think we need,
Oh, I don't need a second.
You
that's
don't
okay.
need a second. Okay.
Are there any other changes, additions, deletions? No, so is there a motion to approve the agenda with the following correction, removal of term renewals?
I'll move.
Second, James. Or Tammy.
Thank you, Candace. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposition? Okay, agenda is approved. So we'll move into the approval of our January minutes. Are there any changes, additions, deletions? Anything we saw in the minutes? If not, is there a motion to approve?
Margaret Wilson will motion to approve.
Is there support?
I'll second.
Okay, Jim.
Thank you, Jim. So it's been properly moved and supported. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposition? Okay, minutes are approved. So we'll move into citizens' comments. Do we have any?
No citizen comments at this time.
Thank you. So old business, we have COVID-19 CARES Act funding. Ms. Vanessa, do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yes, I just wanted to let you know that as of today's date, the second 2019 substantial amendment was approved by the Department of HUD. And the next step currently in the process is HUD releasing the funds. And at that time, we will go and make the award to the LED Foundation.
Awesome. Thank you for the update. Are there any questions for Vanessa? No? Okay. We'll move to the nominating committee report. Margaret, is that you?
Yeah, I think that's me. So we have 4 people that we're bringing to you guys for recommendation for us to forward to City Commission, City Council for approval, for appointment. All of them have experience either in finance or grant writing and fundraising. All 4 of them have a demonstrated history of volunteerism and a community-minded attitude, and have all stated that their goals in joining CDAC are that they want to make Kalamazoo a better place to live and for families. I felt like all 4 of them demonstrated a very positive learning attitude, an open learning attitude, and 3 of the 4 live in the core neighborhoods. Did everyone get a chance to look over this fabulous summary that Jamie wrote for us?
Nice job, Jamie.
Yeah, great job, Jamie. It looks great.
You're here.
We did have one last minute, just this week, withdrawal of application because Angela Johnson, removed herself from candidacy because she is expecting to move out of the city soon. So she didn't think that it was fair to continue to stand. Did any of you have any specific questions about the people who we are recommending? Would you like me to give a brief summary?
No, can I ask a question?
Yes.
Was Tiffany Burns one of our applicants for 2021?
For money or for a position?
No, for CDBG funds or home funds. It's just, her name just sounds familiar as an applicant or a potential applicant.
She
don't
was not.
I don't
Oh,
believe.
she wasn't?
She was
Oh,
not.
okay.
No, she wasn't. Margaret, can you read us the names of the four folks that you're putting forth?
Absolutely. Tiffany Burns, who is the representative from Eastside who will replace Jeanette Tarver. And she runs Smile Savers, which is a nonprofit mobile dental service. It serves the low-income community. Betsy Farmer, who is a Winchell neighborhood resident. Hold on, I've got to chase my cat away. Go. Seriously, kids aren't here. Don't give me trouble. Go. Sorry, everyone. And she has a background in banking and finance and has done a lot of volunteerism in the past and is now recently retired and has some extra time, and she wants to do more to help her community, especially families. And Caitlin Kuhn, who is an Eastside resident, who has a lot of experience with administering large grants and doing grant writing, and works for Heritage Community, and who also expressed a big interest in getting more involved with the Eastside neighborhood, so that would kind of strengthen some of our contacts there. And Chelsea Vieri, who lives in Vine, who is currently works for a bank and has a strong background in finance, and so can bring some of those skill sets to what we're doing.
Thank you. I thought there was an applicant for the north side seat.
No, he was someone, we had a name that was forwarded to us from Northside, but that individual never responded to any communication from us, and we never received an actual application from him. So we do not have an incoming new rep from Northside. So I'm anticipating that there might be some sort of off-term appointments coming, because I would also, as the year goes by, like to spend some time looking at getting somebody from Stewart and getting somebody from Douglas too. So if we get someone from Northside, we do have some room to fill more seats and some spaces that need to get filled in terms of representation.
How many applicants were interviewed? Margaret?
Interviewed? 6.
Does anyone else have any questions for Margaret, the nominating committee? No. So we need a motion to move the recommendations forward to the city commission.
Do we want to do that now or during new business?
Does it make a difference?
All right, let's do it now. Get her done. Jeanette, you want to make the motion?
This Candace, I'll make a motion to accept the 4 candidates. Eastside, Winchell, Eastside, and Vine.
Is there support?
I second the motion.
Thank you, Jeanette. So it's been properly moved and supported. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposition? They're moving forward. Okay, so we're moving to new business. We have the Caper public comment or public hearing, I'm sorry. Vanessa, do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yes. So it is that time of year, of course, that we come together, and Jamie, if you would proceed in sharing the presentation, please.
Does everybody see the presentation?
Yes.
Yes.
So good evening and welcome to the City of Kalamazoo 2019 Consolidated Annual Performance Evaluation Report. I am Vanessa Collins Smith, Community Development Coordinator for Community Investment for the City of Kalamazoo. Next, please. Before you move to the next, On behalf of Community Planning and Economic Development, Community Investment Division, I want to thank our subrecipients, Community Homeworks, Habitat for Humanity, Housing Resources, Inc., Kalamazoo Neighborhood Housing Services, Ministry with Communities, New Horizon, Senior Services, Inc., and United Way of Kalamazoo and Battle Creek. What is the CAPER? It is the report and assessment of the progress that has been made toward achieving the prior year's strategic plan goals for 2019. The consolidated plan describes the housing and community development needs within our community. Goals are the result of our resident voices, informing the city residents and the community needs through a variety of modalities during the citizen participation process. Goal 1 is to improve the amount of decent and affordable housing. Goal 2 is to work toward ending homelessness within Kalamazoo County. Goal 3, advance the sustainability of our core neighborhoods, which right now is the east side, the north side, Edison, Vine, Douglas, Fairmont. Goal 4, to support youth programming and develop well-adjusted adults. Goal 5 is to expand the economic opportunity that influence growth and stability for small businesses throughout the city of Kalamazoo. Funding for our 2019 include community development block grant in the amount of $1,615,035. For our home, we got $492,146. For our CDBG COVID funding, we have $1,441,519. The total amount is $3,548,700. I put this out here because I want all of us to make a note that our program year 2019 subrecipient performance was heavily impacted by COVID-19. As we go forward, you will see that a lot of the targeted performance of our subrecipients decreased in some areas by 50%. So for a 2019 dashboard of affordable housing, what we have before us is the actual indicator. Starting at your far left, you have your subrecipient, the amount, the source, expected program year activities, and the actual program year activities. For our rental units and rehabilitation, we have New Horizon at 100,000, and this is a home funded program. Expected was 2, and our actual accomplishment is 2. For Habitat, we have 118. They're also a home funded agency. The expected was 2, the actual is 0. For our homeowner housing rehab, this is where we do a lot of our repairs. You have $275,000 that was awarded between Senior Services, Community Homeworks, and also our LED program for 2019. So the source is really both CDBG and LED HUD funding. The expected was 250. The actual was 29. For down payment assistance, KNHS. The correction here was 105. They have 12 expected in the actual.
Right, and the meeting until 7:30.
So I can't really see, but over to the far
So early, like,
actual the percentages, and I'm gonna move this right here so I can see this. And so KNHS is 75%, and I'm gonna go back up with the homeowner rehab. You got that at 12. You have your homeowner housing at 0%, and you have your rental units at 100%. For our homeless assistance, United Way was 20,000, and it's a citywide, and that was for administration. Ministry with Communities was 20,000, and that was the CDBG, and that was 125. We have 230, and that's really at a 1.84%. Homeless prevention, we have our HRI, and the amount was 719,052. That was awarded as a response to COVID. You have the expected for the year was 300, and you have 1. Now, and I do want to expound further on the HRI, because HRI received X amount of dollars also in addition to the city award that needed to be spent by December of 2020. So since the city funds were more flexible, the city funds were set aside so that they could move forward and utilizing those dollars so that they would not lose those dollars. For our neighborhood enhancement. Neighborhood enhancement starting off with senior services, which is a COVID fund in the amount of $25,000. It was an expected amount of 4,000, and the actual was 635. The actual number of years that for COVID is 3 years. So the expectation of 4,000 all in 1 year, of course, that was broken down. For our public service, public safety, the amount was 150,000 CDBG source, and we actually exceeded the expected, and that's due to the amount of the increase in the number of residents and the time that we actually did our last census. For buildings being demolished, that's a city sub, and that was $100,000, and we had expectation of 5 with an actual of 3. Code enforcement, 400,000. We had 1,100 was expected, and we actually completed with 1,404. Okay, moving on to our neighborhood enhancement. Neighborhood enhancement. Jamie, the next, please.
Sorry, Vanessa, which slide did you need?
I need the next slide, please.
Not the neighborhood enhancement slide? Okay.
Youth development. So this is the first indicator. This is public services, which is Parks and Rec, and the amount is $36,855. The source is CDBG. Expected was 300. The actual for the after school program due to COVID was 24. Moving on to our homeowner repairs. Next, please. Senior services. This is in reference to our RAMP program, which addresses our special needs. And you see the before and after. Next, please. This is our senior home repair, the before and after. And this was our benchmarks for senior services. The targeted units was 54. They have actually completed 55 as of this month, making their actual percentage 101. And with senior services, we are expected to really exceed the 55 because as of right now, they still have funding to complete their 2019. Community homeworks. This is one of the jobs that this is the before and after. Another job where they actually replaced the stairs going up into the home, the rails going up into the home. For our community homeworks for their 2019, their targeted is 60 and their completion is 14. Put their percentage at 23%. Once again, as I noted earlier, due to COVID, there has been a drastic decrease in the ability to actually complete work. And some of that, of course, is due to the fear of those who are needing to have work done do not want to take that chance and actually having individuals come in and do the necessary repairs. Next, please. KNHS lead prevention program. This is a before and after. Next, please. Another home that was done with our lead prevention. Another before and after. And our lead prevention program. So of course they have 72 units that need to be done over a 3-year period. We still have 2 years to go. Once again, we've been hit really hard in this because a lot of this work sometimes require workers having to go into the home. We do have right now, I believe it is 12 that's actually in the pipeline that is being worked on, but has not cleared. So we do have units, as I said, we're actually working on. Next, please. Down payment assistance. For a down payment assistance, this program is administered through KNHS. And this is one of the homes that down payment assistance was assisted, where down payment assistance assisted. And these are 2 more homes that KNHS used down payment assistance through the city. Next, please. Neighborhood enhancement. So for our Eastside Neighborhood Enhancement Program, we are working with the Eastside Neighborhood Association, and a number of activities are scheduled for the Eastside. We'll be able to more or less expound more on this later on, maybe coming up in the next year. The targeted units are 47, we completed 2, and this is at 4%. Homeless assistance. Ministries with Communities, Homeless Prevention Counseling. The 2019 targeted units was 552. They've completed 166 at 30%. For COVID-19 prevention programs. Senior Services, Meals on Wheels. $4,000 for each year. We're looking at least 1,333. So their completion comes to 47%. Our Small Business Health Protection Grant. This grant is through United Way, is being administered through United Way. Here in front of you have where it actually addresses the neighborhoods and exactly which neighborhood have actually taken advantage of the grant that is out there. You have your racial ethnicity. You have 21% for African Americans, 2.6 for Hispanics, and 73.7 for white small businesses. Gender, hooray to our female population. Yes, 57.9, and our males is at 42.1. Okay, so we're looking at 95 units. That's the target for our 2019, and completed is 38. That leaves us at 38% being completed. Housing resources. This is a homeless prevention. This is where we talked earlier about the rental assistance, where housing resources needed to go and use the funds that had a time limit on them. So as of the most recent submission, they had completed one, which is 33%. 0.33, excuse me. Demographics. Here we have a racial and ethnic composition of 140 individuals that were served during the 2019 year. And I'm going to move this out of here. See over here. So we're looking at for our whites, for CDBG at home at 26%. For our Black or African American, we're looking at 72%. And for our Hispanic population, we're looking at 1%. So I would like to say thank you. And I look forward to coming back again next year. Thank you.
Thank you, Vanessa.
Thank you.
Good job.
Does anybody have any questions for Vanessa?
Before we moved on, I made a note. I need to make sure I go back and address this.
It's hard to hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
For our individual homeowner repairs, it actually was 177 and not the actual the number that was shown on the report.
Okay, and I have a question about the homeless prevention with HRI. I know I heard you say that they were holding off on using the city dollars because other dollars had to be used sooner and there were no restrictions. When do they plan on starting to use that funding?
It started as of January.
Okay. So as of January, they've only assisted 0.33%?
Yes.
Okay. So the funds that they were using prior to the city funds, have they used all of those funds? Is that why they haven't started using the city funds yet?
From my understanding, those funds needed to be used by December the 30th, 31st, and they were. So as of January, they started reviewing applications for the use of the city funds.
Okay, so how often do they provide updates?
The updates are provided on a monthly basis. And Chris, have we received any additional information since?
No, today's the 25th, so I should be getting their January reimbursement in. So probably for the one home, I guess, you know.
Thank you, Vanessa. Does anyone else have any questions? No. So Vanessa, I'm not sure if the board is supposed to like take action on that, or do we just move on to the next item on the agenda?
No,
We need to-
This is
Done
they
deal.
necessarily need to vote to so that we can more or less submit this on to HUD.
Say it one more time. You went out. I couldn't hear you.
Yes, the board needs to take action.
Okay.
In order for us, they need to approve to send to, for us, we need to vote to send this to HUD.
So we're
Okay.
going to send this paper document that you forwarded to us, correct? As our
Right.
paper report.
And then if there's any changes or updates or corrections to that, you are supposed to actually submit that via email.
Okay, so we need to do that before we vote on it, is that correct?
Yes,
Okay, so we can't vote on it today because there's a lot of corrections for the report.
so at this point, what we need to do, that was the actual request prior to when it was sent out. So if we waited until today to make a correction, then that is going to be a problem because it is due to HUD by the 6th of March. So what we would need to do is that we would need to more or less call a special on Monday, no later than Tuesday, because whatever corrections was needed.
So Margaret, what kind of corrections are there? Are they like
Um,
grammatical things?
There are, I had a few interruptions and I was doing my best to follow all the data you were presenting and I could track some of it, but then some of it I could not find in the
So
report.
what it,
And then
so what needs, so
the
what,
table of
Margaret, hold
contents
on one
is-
second. Margaret,
Yeah,
hold
go ahead.
on.
Go ahead.
One person at a time.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Vanessa.
so
Yep.
what needs to be done is it needs to be approved with the necessary correction.
Okay,
being-
okay.
Yes,
Then maybe you and I could meet and talk about it sometime in the next week before it has to get sent in. What's your timeline of when it has to actually be emailed,
right. Well,
submitted, or how it goes?
one of the things, the information that is there in front of you as far as page numbers,
Mhm.
it's actually not going, the hard copy in front of you is not going to be sent to HUD. The information is being actually put into the system. So if it, page numbers and things of that sort, we can just meet, we can meet tomorrow morning.
Okay. I can,
So are we gonna have a special meeting to vote on it? Or are we gonna move forward tonight? And she talked to you about those page numbers at a later date?
Right, you can go ahead and vote with the necessary corrections being made, because one of the things that there is a disclaimer that says that the information is due to change. So,
Okay.
yes,
yeah, I mean, because it's not just the page numbers, there's also, KNHS is not listed in the report. And community homeworks are not listed by name in the documents that we have, so,
no, it's not, well,
but we can talk about it tomorrow and figure it out. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay. In that case, I guess I will make a motion for us to forward this to HUD with amendments,
with the necessary corrections.
necessary corrections.
Second.
Okay, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposition? Okay, the motion carries. So we're moving forward to members' reports and staff updates. I didn't receive any members' reports. Are there any staff updates? Chris or Vanessa?
No.
Are there any additional public comments?
Yes, there is one public comment, and I can play that for you momentarily.
Thank you.
Sure.
This is Richard Stewart. I'm a resident of the city in the Southtown neighborhood. I wanted to inquire if you conducted any outreach to the disability community, either Disability Network or other of the numerous Commission for the Blind. There's a number of organizations in town. It appears there's a lack of disability representation on your board. I did not see any outreach. Our neighborhood association, Southtown Neighborhood, did not receive any invitation to participate, so the lack of outreach is disappointing. I would encourage this board to at least require one member that represents disability for disability inclusion. We have a large population in the city of Kalamazoo of persons with disabilities, and it seems to be completely absent on the boards without representation. It's absent from the Imagine Kalamazoo 2025 master plan. In fact, the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Department does not include disability, only race and gender in its original directive. So we're trying to change that. So I ask that the CDC require one board member for disability representation in the future. Thank you. Bye-bye.
That is the end of the public comment.
Thank you. Okay, if there's nothing else, we will move for adjournment. Nothing else? Okay, we're adjourned.
Thanks, everybody. That was a great meeting.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.